today we are going to learn how to learn a little bit faster and with the use of neuroscience, right? And when I say that you are going to learn faster, I don't mean that you're going to learn easier. So most of us feel that people who learn faster are very comfortable with the learning and उनके लिए पढ़ना बहुत आसान होता है और याद करना बहुत आसान होता है, and then recollecting that learning that they have done is very easy for them. Is it our thought that people who are used to learning fast are find it easier to learn? Yes, that might come with the practice. Definitely certain level of comfort does come with practice, but some level of discomfort always remains. Our aim is to use that discomfort for our favor, right? All of us are okay with the aim of the session today, right? Okay. So for all of you smart people, first let's dive into the neuroscience. Yes? All right. What is this? What is it? What is this on the screen? It's a neuron, right? Okay. So in a neuron, whenever we are thinking anything, whatever the thought may be, is it a normal thought, or is it a belief thought, or is it is a learning thought? What happens to our brain? These are electrical sparks, electrical signals that go on in our brain and they pass through it. This becomes a pathway. This becomes a neural pathway, correct? This is a neural pathway. And all the earlier students of mine who know what myelination is, myelination, right? This coating is called myelin sheath. And when this myelin sheath is like an insulation around any electrical cable. So it tries to reduce the losses that are happening around this neural pathway so that the flow of electric current is easier. How many of you understand it? That it is a coating, it is a protein that covers the electric wiring, copper wiring, so that the current can pass easily. So the neural pathway becomes stronger because brain now thinks that like this neuron is going to be used multiple times now, so you have to protect that neuron. What do you think this is? If you try to see it in layman terms, isn't this learning? Isn't this creation of neural pathway and trying to preserve it, that we know that it is going to be used again and again? Isn't this what learning is? How many of you agree with me that this is what is the learning that is happening, this neural pathway that is becoming, right? All right. Now that this electric current is being passed, what do you think? This electric current that is passing through your neuron and it's being created in your brain, what do you think? Is it a energy easy exercise or is it an energy intensive exercise? Does your body have to use a lot of energy to produce these electric currents? It's an energy intensive exercise, right? So that's why the more you are learning, जब आप बहुत पढ़ते हो, when you're reading a lot, you start to feel hungry also more frequently. How many of you feel that you feel hungry when you're studying a lot and without any physical activity, and you will start to feel कि यार ये इतनी भूख क्यों लग रही है, and you will need glucose probably, and that's why it's good also to, whenever I suggest that people should go to prelims or mains, they should take a glucose bottle. This is the reason, because it is such an intensive, energy intensive exercise to pass these neural currents that our brain gets tired. Yes, this electric current is a energy intensive exercise. This energy intensive exercise is the discomfort of learning. How many of you have ever felt that learning is comfortable? It is always tiring. It is always having a certain level of effort to it. It is always having a certain level of discomfort to it. How many of you understand this? How many of you can relate with it? Yes, that any learning that is happening, it is going to come with discomfort. If it is not coming with any discomfort, the learning is not happening, guys. You are just sitting with a book in front of you, and if you're comfortable, if you're feeling relaxed, oh yeah, maza aa raha hai padhne mein, then there is no learning happening. All right, this is clear. There's a very simple formula for learning, and that is that effort into time is equals to learning. हम टाइम बचाने के लिए क्या करते हैं? लर्निंग करनी है हमें, ओके, हमें एक चैप्टर पढ़ना है, we have to read one chapter, and to save time, what we are going to do? We are going to use other people's notes. Notes ले लो किसी के. You use AI to create notes. Yes, try to read as less as possible, trying to think as less as possible so that you can save time. But the formula is this: the effort that you're putting into the time that you're putting is going to be the learning. If you want to save time, if you want to be saving time, the effort should go up, not down. Get it? What we think, when we reduce the effort, we are going to save time. But actually, if you're reducing effort, the time is going to go up when you are learning. How many of you agree with me on this? AI, notes, watching a video lecture so that you don't have to do that effort of reading the book yourself. Yes, the time is going to increase. And if you feel that learning is happening after that short period of time with that low effort, that learning is going to get wiped away in the morning. You can take it in writing from me. And that's not because I know it, it's because the science says it. Yeah. So when you're avoiding the discomfort, you are actually avoiding the learning itself. Got it? When you're avoiding the discomfort, you're actually avoiding the learning itself. So discomfort is good for learning, and relaxation, passively reading something, is bad for learning. Yes. How many of you are going to sit like this and watch lectures from next time without putting pressure on your brain? If you want to waste time, if you don't want to learn anything, sure, do it. If you are reading a novel, you are watching a movie where you don't have to keep anything in your mind and keep it stored or retrieve it in future, please do it. Otherwise, if you're reading a book, don't do it. All right. So whenever you're studying, your check should be, what is the level of struggle that I'm feeling? If you're consciously not, relaxed, and you're reading something, still you're not feeling any pressure here, that means no new learning is happening. These electric currents are not passing as much, and this myelin sheath is not getting created. So the learning is not happening. All right. Can we move to the next point? Okay. So that was the first point of learning faster. How do you learn fast? Take a time slot and make it effortful. Take a time slot, 30 minutes of intense studying, not 2 hours of laid back studying. No, not this. This is the way out for learning fast, actually learning quickly, is trying to put as much effort possible in the slot that you have decided, and then just leave the books and go around and relax, and then you come back and do it again. Okay? No lying down on the bed and reading a book or studying, seeing a video lecture. The second way to learn fast is to organize. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine you are in your messy room. So everything is around in the room. All right. You can understand that where the things are kept. Yeah. And you can retrieve. So say you are going out for a running. So you can retrieve your shorts. You will immediately take out a short and you will wear it. Yes. Imagine more and more and more and more things coming in it, and the room getting even fuller, even fuller, even fuller. Do you think you will be able to retrieve that shorts within that amount of time as much as you were earlier? No, right? It will take more time. Okay. You took out one day, you organized your whole room. You kept the things that were supposed to be kept in the cupboard. Then you put your keys near the door because you knew that whenever you are going out, you have to lock the door. You put in that effort again. That effort has come in again. One day, it took one day to organize your room. It did. Was it an effortful exercise? Yeah. Is it an effortful exercise? It is. Right. Now, in that effortful exercise, tell me now, how much time will you take to retrieve the shots if you have to go running? It'll be pretty quick. Yeah. So earlier, you were understanding the room, like you were understanding where things are kept and you could get it. But you could not always retrieve the things that you wanted immediately. The time of retrieval was more, isn't it? Yes. Okay. So what that means, that understanding is not learning. If you're understanding a concept, it doesn't mean that learning has happened. Okay, for example, I'll give you an example. We are talking about writs. You must have read it hundred of times that there are 5 kinds of writs and habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and quo warranto, right? And what you're doing, you have understood the meaning of it and some things. Okay, there's this scope, there's this limitation. Now, what you choose to do is you try to arrange them according to their powers, the power it has over itself, over other bodies. Like, how big of a power does a writ have if a person files a writ? Yes, the strength. Then who does it apply on? Who does it apply on? Yeah. Then does it apply only on the judiciary itself? So, say, for example, in the prohibition or, certiorari? Or does it apply also on public authorities? Or does it apply on prime minister as well? Or the public officers? Does a private individual get involved under it? Yes. Then you give very simple examples to it while studying. This is a process that is going to happen when you're organizing it. So if a person is illegally detained, you can file a habeas corpus and you can get them removed. Or say if prohibition is, if like a lower court is exercising more power, then you can go to a higher court or a supreme court and you can tell them that this court is exercising this, and you are You have to tell them not to do it. So this is very simple language use. When you're using such a simple language, you can understand that when I might use it in a ethics case study when a situation like that arises where the police has detained some of the people so and so. I mean, if you are able to understand why what I mean by these simple examples, and by telling you by like how do you categorize them and how do you arrange them instead of just like learning. Now, what do you think? The way it is written in Lakshmikant, is it a messy room or an organized room? And the way we are thinking about it, is it a messy room or an organized room? The way it is given in Lakshmikant, they have just thrown some information to you. And the arrangement that you're doing here, the organizing that you're doing here is your organized room. Yeah, you understood it through Lakshmikant, but it is not necessary that you will be able to retrieve it when the time comes. In an ethics case study, will you be ever able to think that I will write habeas corpus as a measure, as a way forward? Yes, it will never come to your mind until unless you have done this exercise of giving simple examples and thinking, where can I actually use this content? Yes. So understanding a thing doesn't mean you will be able to retrieve it. It has not come into your muscle memory. You have not created this myelin sheath yet. It's still the first and second time of currents that are happening. Yes. But when you are organizing, it is compulsory that you learn it. When you're organizing, the process of organizing itself makes you learn things. If you have organized that which writ is more powerful than the other, you will definitely remember that this one is the most powerful and this one is the weakest. You might also, like I had created a mnemonic of PCM in the order of power, and habeas corpus and quo warranto came separately. Mnemonics will help. All these things will come only if you don't accept what others have organized for you. You have to create the organization for yourself, and it might take more effort, it might take more time, but the learning that will happen, this formula will definitely apply. It will take time, it will take effort, but the learning that will happen will actually stay with you. Right? And especially those who are giving mains, you guys will realize that until unless it's a muscle memory, you will not be able to write anything. It has to come into your muscle memory, and this becomes an essential part of it. That's how your notes should be made. They should be organized for you, not by somebody else. Yes, you have to put your own effort for organizing. If you don't organize your room, if your mom organizes your room, you might be able to see things more clearly, but you still don't know where have they kept your shots. Yeah. Or you might, after some time of using the room and after a couple of more smaller reorganizations. Yes, the analogy, if are you able to understand the analogy that, okay, if you're using somebody else's notes, you have to make them your own notes. You have to use them so many times that it becomes your own notes. You have to reorganize them. Maybe you have to maybe put in some more content that you're reading. That's why making notes by yourself is a must. All right. So whenever you're studying, what is the self-check that you're going to do about organizing is, how do I categorize it and how do I club it? How do I connect it? How do I correlate it? And where do I use it? Okay. Raise your hand. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are getting something out of it. If you have understood what I'm saying. Yes. All right. Great, great. I have these notes in my channel. You guys can definitely go ahead and look at it. But again, I would recommend that you do your own organization. That helps the learning the most. Third way for your fast learning tips is to make mistakes fast. If you're हमारा generally what is our way of studying is mains ho, either it's mains or it's pre or it's any other exam, it's a school exam, our that we will study for say 80% of the time, and then we will in the end we will test ourselves 20% of the times. Yes, this is what we do. How many of us do that? Is this the like the usual modality? First let me study, then I will give test. First let me study, then I will give test. Yeah, okay. But you have to test yourself as fast as possible. As fast as possible. Make mistakes as much as possible, as fast as possible. Because when these neural connections are being formed, it is possible that you have made a wrong neural connection. You have to break it if it is wrongly made. Otherwise, you will be making the same mistake that you did today. You will be making the same mistake after 4 months. And God forbid you do the wrong learning, it will definitely become wrong. Yes. So you have to test yourself. How? Brain dumps is the easiest. These are micro retrievals. Why do we not do it? Why do we don't do active recall? Can anybody tell why do you not do active recall when you're studying? What do I mean by active recall is that you have studied and you close the book and you recollect what you have just studied. It's a lot of effort taking. It is not your like comfort zone. Fear of not remembering, yes. So it requires a lot of effort. डर लगता है कि नहीं याद हुआ है, time लगेगा. Isn't it one of the thing that time lagega, I'll have to reread the content that I have just read and it will take more time. Yes. So what does active recall have? Active recall demands time and effort. What do you think active recall is? What is active recall? It's learning. It's the learning that has happened. You are just fooling yourself if you are not recalling and seeing what you have studied. Yeah, that is what our mothers used to make us do during school time. Active recall is the real learning. There is no learning if you can't recall it. As simple as that. Otherwise, it's just familiarity. Yeah, you have read it, oh, you like it, you see that I recognize it. Your brain says, ha, ho gaya, chalo, let's go, aage. You will not recollect any of it until unless this is happening. Active recall is the only real learning that is happening. So please do it. Please put in that effort. Please put in that time and do that learning. Micro retrievals, micro testings. Do those mistakes. Let your brain feel like a fool that you have not learned what you read. Maybe next time it will see the content in a way to be able to, take more time. It takes more time at that point of time. But if you learn it and you have to revise it only 2 times, 3 times before the final exam, does this take more time, or like having half cooked content now and maybe 3-4 times more? What does the cumulatively what takes more time? And at the last, when the final exam has arrived and the day before, if you have to put in the same one day in that content, that is for sure that the time has been wasted before that. Yes, brain dump should happen after every topic that you have read. This is the micro retrieval. It takes time, it takes effort, but you have to remember that you're saving. This is the time that you're investing to save the time of the future, right? The micro retrievals, the brain dumps don't have to be perfect. They have to be imperfect. Yeah. What are you testing yourself for? To pat yourself on the back? Or you should feel happy, yeah, that acha hua that I recalled. I recalled what I did not remember. That's a good thing. That you can go ahead and, actually now when you read it, the retrieval has pushed your brain to see through what you were not learning, and it will remember more if you read the next time, even if it is within 24 hours. Yeah, you don't have to just immediately read it. Maybe next time, once you have read it, close the book. Next time when you're picking the book within 24 hours, actively recall it first and then read it again. Got it? All of you are clear about it? I know I'm going at length, but I want you to understand that all the self-help that is there in the word, it ends here. It ends here. It ends at practice. I can tell you everything in the word, all the books that have been telling you everything in the word, but unless you actually implement it, it is of no use. Do that active recall. Take that effort. यार शुरू में थकोगे. In start, it will take like so much of your brain power, but do it for a week. You will realize that this is the only effective method that is there. Right? All right. Solving MCQs, writing answers, prelims, mains, everything is covered. Brain dumps is when you're starting out. MCQ solving is for prelims, writing answers. That's why I'm such a strong supporter of writing two answers every day. All of those who have studied in my MEW batch, I hope you guys and others can also, realize what is the benefit of writing two answers every day. If you write 20 questions in one time as a test, you will never be able to go through all the 20 questions. What went wrong there? What were the mistakes there? उसको analyze ही नहीं कर, we will never be able to analyze that enough. But when you write two answers every day and you have a topper's copy with it, man, you can't even imagine what kind of benefits that does for you. You are recognizing your own mistakes. You are copying or emulating a topper, and you're gaining content from the topper's copy. It's like you don't even have to study as much because you already have the content in front of you. Yeah, even for a beginner who is just starting, who's just completed prelims basic, you should also write two answers every day with a topper's copy in front of you. Yes, and then analyze. How many of you feel that I have written the test, either it's prelims or the mains, and then afterwards what is happening? Analysis is taking 2 hours was given to solving prelims paper, and 4 hours it is taking for analysis, and it is so effortful. Again, the time that you're putting and the effort that you're putting is the learning that is happening. All these are the methods of testing yourself. Analyzing is the way ahead, where you realize what are the mistakes that you made. And when you're realizing what mistakes you made, the next time you read it with multiple iterations, you will organize it so well. You will know where to use what content. How many of you agree with me on this? Yeah. Please don't immediately see the answers. Don't see the answers. Let your brain test it. Mind after writing wants to check from AI. AI will destroy your thinking power if you rely on it heavily. Please, guys, our papers are still conventional. Use your brain first. Use your brain first. I'm not saying don't use AI, but use your brain first. The hit that AI gives when it is able to answer your question immediately, it's worse than social media. it's worse than social media. You have to put in all your effort before checking the answer. When you're okay, a rule of thumb is when you're solving an MCQ and you have that urge of checking it on AI, wait for 1 minute. When you're writing answer, handwritten answer, and you have an urge of checking it on AI, wait for 7 minutes for a 10 marker and 10 minutes for a 15 marker. Yes? How many of you with me on this? 1 minute for a prelims MCQ. When you're writing answers and you have that urge, wait for 7 minutes for a 10 marker and 10 minutes for a 15 marker. Then later on, because by the time your brain would have had thought whatever you wanted to think and whatever it was required to think over it. I'm not saying you sit for 1 hour on a question, write whatever you can, and then see the solution. No, only this much time is supposed to be given. Okay, and then analyze. If you want to analyze with AI, good. If you want to, the best way to analyze is to analyze with a benchmark. Let it be a topper's copy. Yeah. And all of you who have not seen my spatial repetition and the how to remember forever video, please do watch it. This and that aligns. That is also majorly on how to read better and remember better. This is how do you learn faster. The myths that let me take somebody else's notes and let me use AI, that is what this session is about. Yeah. This is a YouTube live video too. This is the first time I'm doing it. Let me see that if it is getting recorded. Most probably it will get recorded there also. It's getting recorded here also. If it is not getting uploaded on YouTube, I will upload it in some time once I get the recording. All right. So this exercise will take time. You might feel that you're a slow learner, but I can tell you for sure that you will be learning. At least you'll not be wasting your time. You'll not be like those who are sitting thinking they're studying and they're not learning at all. And they'll find themselves in the final day of the exam that they have not remembered anything. This will help you organize so well. Okay, how many words do you require for one topic to write an answer? How many words? 250 words, right? 250 words. Out of that, how many is introduction and how many is conclusion? Say, okay, say 30, okay, 25, 30 मान लेते हैं, 60 words तो चले गए, ठीक है? 25 मान लेते हैं, that okay, we have to write precise only, ठीक है? 200 words. Out of this 200 words, you will do maybe say 4 sections or 3 sections or 2 sections. Let's assume 50 words. Okay, 2 sections only for simplicity, that you had to do 100 words, 2 topics. How many words per sentence, per subheadings, per heading? 3 to 4 arguments. Yeah. Why are we rushing towards so much content on AI and Google? Just pick anything, find out some key phrases, learn them and put them in this dictionary of 250 words. Is, am, are, the, t, wo sab bhi hata do. Then also you will have to learn probably only say 250 key phrases. Yeah. How many of you with me on this, that you understand that while you are testing this, how well you are going to be able to organize it? Yes. All right. So our aim is to have that optimal level of struggle in very small stretches of time. You have to reach the optimal level of struggle. You have to keep asking yourself, am I struggling while I'm learning? Am I struggling while I'm learning? If you're not, change your approach. Second, you have to organize the content for yourself. not anybody else. Nobody else should organize your room. You have to organize your own room. And not only content, yeah, diagrams, figures. If it's words, convert it into flowcharts. This is what gets marks now. This fetches marks in exam, right? Do it. Do it. You figure out how to do it in one page. Figure out what are those phrases, that only those phrases that you have to learn to be able to write 250 words about that topic. Organize your diagram so that you can make it in 5 seconds, 7 seconds. It shouldn't take much more time than that. How can you make it by your pen? How can you increase the information in a diagram? How can you decrease the information in a diagram? How can you put more arrows so that you don't have to use so much words? Organize it for yourself. And the third point is make mistakes fast. Active recall, test yourself. Put that effort, put that time, put yourself through that discomfort for a certain period of time. Don't keep sitting the whole time with no effort at all in front of you in the books. Ma'am, can we make specific keywords? Please, mnemonics and keywords are such wonderful things. You should use everything that is there up your sleeve to be able to recall fast. What if we read, then we recall for 5 minutes, then continue ahead? We should do first reading and after it, recall it 24 hours, hold one thing. Yeah, yes. Whenever you're studying, first try to recall it, then you study. It might feel slow, but that is the only way of learning. Effort and into time is equals to learning. If you reduce the effort, time is going to increase to maintain the same level of learning. If your time is reducing, effort has to go up to maintain the same level of learning. All right, that's all from my side, guys. I hope you learned something.